I'm here for tonight is to say I do support the petition. There is a signed one in there of mine. I also want to thank the board and the police department for acting quickly when this last big thing happened, and ask the board to please keep what you've done in place. I know you've got a long-range plan and a big thing, but please don't go backwards at this point. The parking spaces there seem to be sufficient. My yard has a very good view of the park. I don't even work all day anymore, so I'm watching people come in and out of there. There seems to be enough parking spaces in the park. I don't see people leaving because they can't find a spot to park. To those who complain that it closes too soon or there's not enough room, this is not the only access to the lake, and this is not the only lake in the area, but because of what's been happening there, I think this is the right move. And I don't, the other people complain also, and other complaints I've seen are that just police it more. I really don't know how our police department could police it anymore without being there constantly, because they are there a lot, and they do write tickets. I would ask that they continue with their zero tolerance and write a ticket on every single violation that they see. But really appreciate what you've done this summer. It's been the most effective thing of all the things you've tried over the years. And I'm just asking, please leave it in place and hope that flows into what your long-range plan is, and you can keep things under control that way. Because our safety does have to come first, and we appreciate that.
My family has had a house at Clark Lake since somewhere around 1912. We've had the privilege of enjoying the lake. We've also had the privilege of watching the lake's values grow. One of the things that occurs to me is that with the troubles that are occurring at the county park and also at the township park, it's going to affect our property values. And our property values, actually, they provide the taxes for the town, and they provide everybody's salaries that work for the town. So all in all, it affects all of us. I support the petition. I don't have anything to add to it, but I do hope that it's acted on soon.
First and foremost, I'd like to personally, as well as on behalf of my Clark Lake neighbors, thank you for the swift response and actions that you've taken to limit parking, install clear signage, and reduce the park hours. I'd also like to thank the board and the Columbia Township Police for working together to coordinate to have an officer at the park over the 4th of July holiday. Your immediate response to escalating issues at the park, and specifically a dangerous situation that occurred on June 22nd, immediately made the park a safer and more enjoyable place to be for our neighbors, business owners in the area, and park visitors. I'm impressed at your response and truly grateful for the support that you showed in prioritizing our safety of our residents and all of those who visit Hyde Park. Secondly, I'm here to urge the board to continue making progress, to decide on a long-term plan and permanent and comprehensive solution. It was just a couple of years ago when park hours were reduced in response to another serious incident and dangerous incident, just to be reopened the following season without any permanent or meaningful changes to address the root cause of these issues. I support the petition and would also be supportive of a solution to address the spillover parking issue. The key is to make this a permanent solution. Please continue to stand with your residents and prioritize long-term safety measures for all of those who visit Hyde Park. Our community values the space, and we want to ensure that it remains a peaceful, welcoming environment for everybody.
People are repeatedly parking on Hyde Road in violation of no parking signs, directly under, next to no parking signs. If we are going to have rules, then they need to be enforced. These people are parking there, they're opening doors into traffic, walking into the road with no regard for traffic. This is a danger and a peril to both park users and drivers. About 14 days ago, I literally had to aggressively brake because two people had walked out between two cars, and I had saw them, so I had slowed down even, and they popped the door open right into the street. They were parked right on the side of the road, and the door was in front of them. And I literally had to slam on my brakes so that I didn't hit the door or the people there. The use of paid parking stickers, which was suggested, maybe that's what we should do. I believe the state has a park permit that you can put on and pay with your fees. Maybe that's what we should have. I don't know the answer to the question. Police resources have helped. I have now seen the police down there, and I appreciate that. But the parking is a hazard. I too offer my support in any way to help with the situation and be happy to be called upon. If we are going to have rules, then they need to be enforced. Very simple. Police and protect. If there is to be parking, it needs to be in a parking space and defined. And if people violate that, they need to be ticketed and towed.
I came to a meeting earlier this year on the Montessori school, and my concern only there was that we've eliminated parking for the voters to use there, and now we are seeing some problems with that. I guess my only opinion is that if we're going to provide these places a boat launch and a nice park, which we've enjoyed with our children, we have to look at how we're going to support those people that will be coming. If we're going to eliminate more parking down any of those roads, which really, if I lived on Finch Street or any of those, I wouldn't want anybody parking there. Some of them would try parking down at the Lions Club, which I'm sure is not what they want. But we've got to look at it. If we're going to have a boat launch there, then we have to have parking for them to park their trailers. I have a boat and I live 2 blocks over, so I can just take my trailer back home. Right now we mainly kayak, but we've enjoyed that area. I've always felt that there should be some sort of a sidewalk along the lake there, because you do have to walk in traffic every time you walk down to the post office or the store or the park with children. My wife, I think, has even taken children from back when we had the school up at CCE down to the park, and it is dangerous. Having cars parked along that road has never been good. So that's the only comment I have, is we have to look at those things. If we're going to provide these services, we got to provide places for people to park.
Chief Niles indicated that we're going to have to wait for the state, somebody at the state, to let us put no parking signs along Hyde.
I like Mike's a successful businessman, and I'd like to go to his school of getting things done. And since we have a problem, we have a definite problem, we have a safety problem, and we have a fire department problem, I think we have enough. And I mean, a lawyer would have to answer this more than I could, but I think we have enough to say that, hey, this is immediate action. This isn't a 2-year wait. Can you imagine if somebody got killed on that road because we were waiting for 2 years to get a sign up, or the fire department had some kind of an, can you imagine what would you say? Well, we had to wait 2 years, and we're sorry that your kid was killed, and it's stupid. It's just not, it doesn't pass the smell test of what we're trying to do here. You have 300 and some petitions. You have people who are good citizens and good people. You are good people. You know better than that. So whoever's telling us we can't do this, we need to talk to that person and make them understand this isn't a 2-year thing. We need to get this done for the safety of our community. And we need to fight for our community. I mean, we're our voice, not them. They don't know what's going on here.
With the relocation of the parking adjacent to the road, because of the approaches and the size of those approaches, you actually will end up with limited ability, if any, to be able to have parking on street.
I support the petition for the park, but like Tim said, you move the problem with the parking in the park. Not only is it moved down Hyde and Twining and all those other streets, it's moved to the other end of the lake too. Nothing you can do as a board about that, but Chief Niles and his group have been doing a great job. I mean, that situation could really get out of control. 2 years ago, it was so bad, I thought it was going to really escalate. And Sergeant Teff did a great job of keeping it from doing that. So I know you can't put more cars on the road because it costs money, but it's going to get ugly down there before it gets better.
As a resident of Hyde, we like to enjoy the park, but we work. We work full-time. We get out of work at 5. Park closes at 6. We don't get to do that. And unfortunately, we feel like, were part of that community that was being punished because people can't behave themselves. So it's just one thing I wanted to just kind of throw out there. Maybe there's a way we can extend the hours on it. That would be wonderful. The other thing that I kind of wanted to just throw out there is that anybody who lives near or on Hyde Road knows that traffic there has significantly increased since they're doing the construction on Jefferson Road and 127. It's only going to get worse when they do the other side. The road, Hyde Road, is deteriorating quickly, and the more traffic that comes down that road is obviously going to increase the damage to the road already. We're wondering if there is any thoughts of what is going to be done on that. Is there any grants that can be applied for to do that road after, if the 127 traffic is being funneled down that road?
Safety and a welcoming area is what people have stressed. Safety first, obviously. I know for a fact of some people who work during the week, and I actually on that day was the big melee, went to take her 2 daughters there to swim, and it was all happening. She says, I won't go back. I will not put my children in danger. So we have to be aware of that. The enforcement has to be consistent. If it says no parking, then ticket them, tow them, whatever you have to do, but do it and keep doing it because people will know if you let up on it.
I just had a thought, and I don't know if this works or not, but because of the construction on 127 and the increased traffic on Hyde Road, could we have a stopgap maybe while we know that that traffic is so heavy, bigger trucks, more cars, all of that sort of thing, that we could ride out for the rest of this summer and get us some ideas to not allow parking on Hyde Road in a temporary thing simply because we know the increased traffic.
I'd just like to throw a rhetorical question out. Why do you guys keep raising our taxes every year and our roads are an abomination? I've been to Fallujah twice and saw better roads. I understand the township doesn't do roads, but you put pressure on Jackson County to get this stuff done. It's a joke. And then the fact you're going to spend money on this park when you can't even, there's people breaking legs in potholes on Eagle Point Road.
People are expecting us to provide parking for the boat trailers. I'm shocked. What they gonna want next? Gas? A boat dock? Maybe a resort to go with it. I don't know. My suggestion here is maybe some partnership with the Lions Club ought to be worked out.
I'm a Lions member. We voted last weekend to lock the gates. They said we want to make a deal with the township. Well, they wanted to let us park all the rafts down there, the other end. If they want to mow it, if they want to maintain it. So we voted to lock them, the gates from Saturday morning till Sunday at 9 o'clock. So the Lions Club will be locked every single weekend. So that's not even an option. We got liability. We got liability. All these people come out there from town. They bring nothing to our community. They don't buy gas there. They don't stay in our motels. They don't go to the bars. They go right down the front of the beach bar to listen to free music and raise heck on the lake. So I counted 20 to 25 trailers per weekend or days every weekend. So if we cut down 25 boats on that lake, that's fine with me.
ClarkLakeSpirit.com, standing up for Clark Lake.